We all know how the Titanic died, but what if the iceberg was just a scapegoat? What if the truth lies in the memories of those who stared death in the eye and lived to tell a different story? The Titanic, a marvel of engineering, was deemed unsinkable. Yet on that fateful night, disaster struck. The ship received multiple iceberg warnings, but they were ignored. When the iceberg was finally spotted, it was too late. The aftermath was catastrophic, with over 1,500 lives lost. But amidst the chaos, some survivors began to question the official story. Could there have been more to the disaster than just an iceberg? Some believe that the ship's design flaws and financial pressures played a role. Others point to the ship's sister vessel, the Olympic, and its troubled history. Legal battles and investigations followed, but many questions remained unanswered. As we delve deeper, we uncover the stories of those who survived. Their accounts may hold the key to understanding the true cause of the tragedy. Join us as we explore the Titanic's dark secret and the survivor who defied history. Meet Vagenak Buyurat, Armenian writer, smuggler of forbidden texts, and the man whose testimony could rewrite maritime history. Born in 1874 in the Ottoman Empire, Buyurat was a prominent figure in Armenian literature and a fierce advocate for freedom of expression. His life was marked by his relentless pursuit of truth and justice, often putting him at odds with the authorities. Buyurat's involvement in smuggling banned literature made him a target, but it also made him a hero to many. His writings, filled with passion and defiance, inspired countless Armenians to stand up against oppression.
Titanic's passenger logs show 13 Armenians, but Vaginak's name? Purged. His presence on the Titanic was a well-kept secret, hidden from official records. Why? Because his story threatened powerful interests. Buyurat had uncovered information that could expose the true reasons behind the Titanic's tragic sinking. His testimony, if revealed, could have changed the course of history, but powerful forces ensured that his voice was silenced and his name erased from the annals of the Titanic's history. Today, we remember Vagenak Buyurat not just as a writer and a smuggler, but as a courageous witness whose story remains a crucial piece of the Titanic's dark secret.
That dark mark on departure photos. A 3-week-old fire weakening steel at 1,700 degrees Fahrenheit. Iceberg contact. Just the final straw. The fire, burning in the coal bunker, had been raging since the ship left Belfast. It was a hidden danger that few knew about. Experts believe the intense heat from the fire compromised the structural integrity of the Titanic's hull, making it more susceptible to damage. When the Titanic struck the iceberg, the already weakened steel gave way, leading to catastrophic flooding. Survivor accounts reveal that the crew was aware of the fire but were unable to extinguish it completely. Modern-day experts agree that the fire played a significant role in the disaster, exacerbating the damage caused by the iceberg. Archival footage and recent analyses show that the fire's impact was more severe than previously thought. The combination of the fire and the iceberg collision sealed the fate of the Titanic, leading to one of the deadliest maritime disasters in history.
April 1912 saw Germany testing torpedo timers. Vagenak's searchlight? A periscope. But geopolitically, improbable, not impossible. The year 1912 was a time of significant geopolitical tension. Europe was a powder keg, with alliances and rivalries shaping the political landscape. Germany, in particular, was expanding its naval capabilities, and U-boat technology was at the forefront of this effort. While a U-boat attack on the Titanic seems far-fetched, it is not entirely out of the realm of possibility. Witnesses from the time reported seeing strange lights and hearing unusual noises, which some have speculated could be linked to submarine activity. Newspaper clippings from the era also hint at the growing fear of underwater threats. Diagrams of U-boat mechanics show how advanced these vessels were for their time, capable of stealth and precision. The plausibility of a U-boat attack, while debated, adds another layer of mystery to the Titanic's tragic story.
Some theories suggest that the Titanic carried crucial documents related to the founding of the Federal Reserve.
Could sinking the Titanic have been a deliberate attempt to delay the Federal Reserve's launch in 1913?
If true, it would be Wall Street's perfect crime.
The Federal Reserve Act was signed into law on December 23, 1913, just over a year after the Titanic sank.
Some of the wealthiest men of the time, like J.P. Morgan, John Jacob Astor, and Benjamin Guggenheim, were aboard the Titanic.
These men were known to oppose the creation of the Federal Reserve. Their deaths removed significant opposition.
The timing of the Titanic's sinking and the subsequent establishment of the Federal Reserve has fueled speculation for over a century.
While mainstream historians dismiss these theories, they continue to captivate the imagination of conspiracy theorists.
If the Titanic's sinking was indeed orchestrated, it would mark one of the most elaborate and sinister plots in financial history.
Whether fact or fiction, the connection between the Titanic and the Federal Reserve remains a topic of intrigue and debate. At -2 degrees Celsius, hypothermia erases memory. The human body begins to shut down, prioritizing vital organs. This can lead to confusion, memory loss, and even hallucinations. Vaginak's explosion could be synaptic collapse or, a suppressed truth. When the body is exposed to extreme cold, the brain's synapses can fail, leading to a breakdown in communication between neurons. This synaptic collapse can manifest as sudden, intense experiences, which might be misinterpreted as explosions or other dramatic events. Alternatively, it could be a suppressed truth, a memory so traumatic that the mind has buried it deep within the subconscious. Survivors of the Titanic faced unimaginable horrors, and the freezing temperatures only compounded their suffering. The effects of hypothermia on memory are profound, often leaving survivors with fragmented recollections of the events they endured. Understanding these effects is crucial in analyzing historical accounts, as the line between reality and perception can become blurred. Vaginak's story, whether a result of synaptic collapse or a suppressed truth, highlights the complex interplay between the human mind and extreme conditions. As we delve deeper into the accounts of Titanic survivors, we must consider the impact of hypothermia on their memories and the stories they tell. It is not just about the physical effects of cold, but also about the psychological scars left behind. In the end, understanding the full scope of hypothermia's impact can help us piece together the fragmented memories of those who lived through one of history's greatest maritime disasters. The coal bunker. They knew. But what exactly did they know? The coal bunker incident has long been a subject of speculation and intrigue among historians and Titanic enthusiasts alike. Recent investigations have shed new light on the events leading up to the disaster. Experts have analyzed historical records and testimonies to piece together a clearer picture of what happened. It is believed that a fire had been smoldering in one of the coal bunkers for days before the Titanic set sail. This fire, if left unchecked, could have weakened the structural integrity of the ship. Archival footage and expert analyses suggest that the crew was aware of the fire but chose to keep it under wraps to avoid causing panic among the passengers. Historical documents reveal that efforts were made to extinguish the fire, but it was a challenging task given the limited resources available at the time. The coal bunker incident is a stark reminder of the many factors that contributed to the Titanic's tragic fate. It underscores the importance of transparency and preparedness in the face of potential disasters. As we continue to explore the Titanic's dark secrets, the coal bunker incident remains a key piece of the puzzle, offering valuable insights into the events that led to one of history's most infamous maritime disasters. The Astors saved 6 sons that night, but why did their testimonies vanish from official inquiries? John Jacob Astor IV, one of the wealthiest men aboard, was traveling with his young wife, Madeline. As the ship sank, Astor ensured Madeline's safety, securing her a place in a lifeboat. Astor himself did not survive, but his actions that night were heroic. Madeline, pregnant at the time, was one of the few first-class women to survive. The Astor family was prominent in New York society, known for their immense wealth and influence. Despite their prominence, the testimonies of the 6 sons they saved were never recorded. Some speculate that the Astor family's influence played a role in the disappearance of these testimonies. Others believe that the chaos and confusion of the disaster led to the oversight. The missing testimonies remain one of the many mysteries surrounding the Titanic's sinking. What is clear is that the Astors' actions that night were both brave and selfless. Their story adds a poignant chapter to the tragic tale of the Titanic. The legacy of the Astor family continues to intrigue historians and Titanic enthusiasts alike. As we remember the Titanic, we also remember the courage and sacrifice of those on board. The story of the Titanic is one of tragedy and mystery. Among the many tales, one survivor's account stands out, defying history. Experts have debated the authenticity of this account for years. Through interviews and historical documents, we explored this fascinating story. The revelations uncovered shed new light on the Titanic's final moments. As we reflect on these findings, we honor the memory of those lost. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time, Gap 7S. The sinking of the Titanic sent shockwaves around the world. Gap 7S. In the wake of the disaster, 2 major inquiries were launched, one in the United States and one in the United Kingdom. Gap 7S. These investigations sought to understand what went wrong and to prevent such a tragedy from ever happening again. GAP 7S. Testimonies from survivors, crew members, and experts painted a harrowing picture of that fateful night. GAP 7S. The inquiries revealed glaring deficiencies in maritime safety protocols. GAP 7S. One of the most significant outcomes was the establishment of the International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea, or SOLAS, in 1914. GAP 7S. This convention mandated sufficient lifeboats for all passengers. GAP 7S. Regular lifeboat drills. GAP 7S. And improved ship-to-shore communication. GAP 7S. The Titanic's legacy reshaped maritime laws and practices, making sea travel safer for future generations. GAP 7S. As we remember the Titanic, we also acknowledge the changes it inspired, ensuring that the lessons learned from this tragedy were not in vain. GAP 7S. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay curious. GAP 7S. The stories of Titanic survivors have become an integral part of its historical narrative. GAP 7S. Their testimonies not only provided crucial information for the inquiries but also offered a human perspective on the tragedy. GAP 7S. Survivors like Eva Hart, who was just 7 years old at the time, spoke of the haunting memories that stayed with them for a lifetime. GAP 7S. Her accounts of the ship's final moments and the aftermath brought to light the emotional toll of the disaster. GAP 7S. Similarly, the recollections of crew members such as Charles Lightoller, the ship's second officer, contributed to our understanding of the events that unfolded. GAP 7S. Lightoller's testimony highlighted the bravery and quick thinking of the crew, as well as the chaos and confusion during the evacuation. GAP 7S. These personal stories have been instrumental in preserving the legacy of the Titanic, ensuring that the voices of those who lived through the ordeal continue to be heard. GAP 7S. By analyzing these testimonies, historians have been able to piece together a more comprehensive and nuanced narrative of the Titanic's sinking. GAP 7S. The impact of these survivor stories extends beyond the historical record. They remind us of the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable adversity. GAP 7S. As we continue to study and reflect on these accounts, we honor the memory of those who perished and celebrate the enduring strength of those who survived. GAP 7S. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. GAP 7S. Stay curious, and until next time. The Titanic disaster has not only been a subject of historical inquiry, but has also left an indelible mark on popular culture. From books to movies and documentaries, the story of the Titanic has been retold countless times, each adaptation adding a new layer to the narrative. One of the earliest and most influential books was Walter Lord's A Night to Remember, published in 1955. This meticulously researched account brought the tragedy back into the public consciousness and served as the basis for the 1958 film of the same name. The film, directed by Roy Ward Baker, is still praised for its historical accuracy and emotional depth. However, it was James Cameron's 1997 blockbuster film Titanic that truly captured the world's imagination. Starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet, the movie blended romance and tragedy, making the story accessible to a new generation. Its success was unprecedented, winning 11 Academy Awards and becoming one of the highest-grossing films of all time. Documentaries have also played a crucial role in exploring the Titanic's legacy. National Geographic's Secrets of the Titanic and the History Channel's Titanic: The Final Word with James Cameron have provided in-depth analyses using advanced technology and expert testimonies. These documentaries offer viewers a closer look at the shipwreck and the events leading up to the disaster, making the historical event feel more immediate and real. The cultural impact of the Titanic extends to music, theater, and even video games, each medium offering a unique perspective on the tragedy. These varied interpretations ensure that the story of the Titanic continues to resonate, reminding us of the human cost of the disaster and the enduring fascination it holds. As we reflect on the Titanic's place in popular culture, we see how the arts have helped to keep the memory of this tragic event alive. Through these creative works, the Titanic remains a poignant symbol of human ambition, vulnerability, and resilience. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. Stay curious, and until next time. As we conclude our exploration of the Titanic's impact on popular culture, let's take a moment to revisit the timeline of the Titanic's ill-fated voyage, from its grand departure to its tragic sinking. This detailed timeline helps us piece together the sequence of events that led to one of the most devastating maritime disasters in history. April 10, 1912, departure from Southampton. At noon, the RMS Titanic set sail from Southampton, England, on its maiden voyage to New York City. The ship carries 2,224 passengers and crew, including some of the wealthiest people in the world and hundreds of emigrants seeking a new life in America. April 10, 1912, first stop, Cherbourg, France. In the evening, the Titanic arrives in Cherbourg, France, to pick up additional passengers. The ship stays for just a couple of hours before setting off again. April 11, 1912, second stop, Queenstown, now Cove, Ireland. By midday, the Titanic reaches Queenstown, Ireland, its final port of call before heading into the open Atlantic. After boarding more passengers and taking on supplies, the ship departs at 1:30 p.m. bound for New York. April 12, 13, 1912, Atlantic crossing. The Titanic sails through calm seas under clear skies. Passengers enjoy the luxurious amenities on board, while the crew maintains a steady course towards their destination. April 14, 1912, iceberg warnings. Throughout the day, the Titanic receives multiple iceberg warnings from other ships in the area. Despite these warnings, the ship continues to steam ahead at nearly full speed. April 14, 1912 to 11:40 p.m., the collision at 11:40 p.m., lookouts. Frederick Fleet and Reginald Lee spot an iceberg directly ahead. Despite efforts to avoid it, the Titanic strikes the iceberg on its starboard side, causing a series of fatal ruptures below the waterline. April 15, 1912 to 12:00 a.m., assessing the damage. Captain Edward Smith and the ship's officers quickly assess the damage. They discover that the first 5 compartments are flooding and that the ship will sink within hours. The order to prepare lifeboats is given. April 15, 1912 to 12:15 a.m., sending distress signals. The Titanic begins sending distress signals, including the CQD and SOS calls, hoping for a nearby ship to come to the rescue. The closest ship, the RMS Carpathia, is 58 miles away and immediately sets course for the Titanic. April 15, 1912 to 12:45 a.m., lifeboats launched. The first lifeboat is launched with only 28 people aboard, despite having a capacity for 65. The chaotic evacuation continues with many lifeboats launched only partially filled. April 15, 1912, 2:05 a.m., the last lifeboat. The final lifeboat is launched, leaving over 1,500 people still on board. The ship's bow continues to sink deeper into the water, and the situation becomes increasingly desperate. April 15, 1912, 2:20 a.m., the Titanic sinks. The Titanic's stern rises high into the air as the ship breaks in two. The bow section plunges to the ocean floor, followed by the stern. The ship sinks completely, leaving hundreds of people in the freezing Atlantic waters. April 15, 1912, 4:00 a.m., rescue by the Carpathia. The RMS Carpathia arrives at the scene and begins rescuing survivors from the lifeboats. By 8:30 a.m., all survivors have been brought aboard. In total, 706 people are saved, while over 1,500 perished in the disaster. This timeline not only marks the tragic milestones of the Titanic's voyage, but also serves as a somber reminder of the fragility of human endeavors. Each moment, from the ship's proud departure to its heartbreaking end, is a testament to the bravery, resilience, and humanity of those who were aboard. Thank you for joining us on this detailed journey through the Titanic's timeline. Stay curious, and until next time. The tragedy of the RMS Titanic had a profound impact on maritime safety and shipbuilding technology. In the wake of the disaster, significant advancements were made to prevent such a catastrophe from ever occurring again. One of the most immediate changes was the implementation of the International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea, SOLAS, in 1914. This convention established new regulations for lifeboat provisions, requiring enough lifeboats for all passengers and crew and mandated regular lifeboat drills. It also introduced improvements in radio communications, ensuring that ships would maintain 24-hour radio watch and have better coordination in emergencies. The Titanic's sinking also led to the development of the Iceberg Patrol, known today as the International Ice Patrol. This organization monitors the presence of icebergs in the North Atlantic and warns ships of potential dangers, significantly reducing the risk of iceberg collisions. In terms of ship design, the concept of watertight compartments was re-evaluated and improved. ships began to be constructed with more robust and extensive watertight bulkheads, ensuring that even if multiple compartments were breached, the vessel could remain afloat. Double hulls also became more common, providing an additional layer of protection against hull breaches. Another crucial advancement was the enhancement of ship steering and maneuvering capabilities. The Titanic's inability to avoid the iceberg highlighted the need for more responsive and effective steering mechanisms. Modern ships are now equipped with advanced steering systems, including bow thrusters and more powerful rudders, allowing for greater maneuverability. The materials used in shipbuilding also saw significant improvements. The brittle steel that contributed to the Titanic's rapid sinking was replaced by more resilient and flexible materials, capable of withstanding the harsh conditions of the open sea. These technological advancements have not only made maritime travel safer, but have also paved the way for the development of even larger and more sophisticated vessels. The lessons learned from the Titanic disaster have been instrumental in shaping the future of shipbuilding and ensuring the safety of all who travel by sea. Thank you for joining us as we explore the technological advancements that emerged from the Titanic tragedy. Stay curious, and until next time. The RMS Titanic lay undiscovered on the ocean floor for over 70 years, shrouded in mystery and legend. It wasn't until September 1, 1985, that a joint American-French expedition led by oceanographer Dr. Robert Ballard finally located the wreck. Using advanced submersible technology and a remotely operated vehicle, ROV, named Argo, the team was able to capture the first haunting images of the Titanic's remains. The discovery was a monumental moment in maritime history. It not only confirmed the final resting place of the great ship, but also opened the door to a new era of underwater exploration. The Titanic lay in two main sections, approximately 370 miles south-southeast off the coast of Newfoundland, at a depth of about 12,500 feet. The bow and stern were separated by about 1,970 feet of debris field, scattered with personal belongings, parts of the ship, and other artifacts. Subsequent explorations have provided invaluable insights into the Titanic's final moments and the conditions of the wreck. Teams of researchers and explorers have used state-of-the-art technologies including manned submersibles and high-definition cameras to document and study the site. These expeditions have revealed the eerie beauty of the ship's remains, from the grand staircase to the iconic bow, now encrusted with rusticles, iron-eating bacteria that contribute to the slow decay of the vessel. One of the most significant findings from these explorations was the discovery of the ship's Marconi wireless telegraph system, which played a crucial role in the distress calls sent during the sinking. This, and other artifacts, have helped historians piece together a more accurate timeline of the events that unfolded on that fateful night. The explorations have also sparked debates about the preservation and ethical considerations of the site. The Titanic is not only a historical artifact but also a grave site for the over 1,500 souls who perished in the disaster. Efforts have been made to balance the need for scientific study with respect for the victims, leading to the establishment of guidelines and protective measures to preserve the site for future generations. The discovery and subsequent explorations of the Titanic have deepened our understanding of the tragedy and its impact. They have allowed us to connect with the past in a profound way, bringing to life the stories of those who were aboard and highlighting the enduring legacy of the Titanic. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the discovery and exploration of the Titanic. Stay curious, and until next time. The Titanic, more than a century after its tragic sinking, remains a symbol of human ambition, innovation, and the fragility of life. The ship, deemed unsinkable, still captures the imagination of millions worldwide. Its story is one of dreams and despair, of technological marvel and human error. The legacy of the Titanic is multifaceted. It serves as a poignant reminder of the perils of hubris and the limits of human control over nature. The disaster led to significant changes in maritime laws and safety regulations, such as the establishment of the International Ice Patrol and the requirement for sufficient lifeboats for all passengers. The Titanic also holds a special place in cultural memory. It has inspired countless books, films, documentaries, and exhibitions, each attempting to capture the essence of the ship and the stories of those who were aboard. James Cameron's 1997 blockbuster film brought the tragedy to a new generation, blending historical details with compelling storytelling and breathtaking visuals. Beyond its cultural impact, the Titanic has a profound emotional resonance. It is a story of loss and heroism, of families torn apart and strangers coming together in the face of disaster. The personal accounts of survivors and the artifacts recovered from the wreck continue to touch hearts and minds, offering a tangible connection to the past. The Titanic's enduring legacy is also educational. It has become a case study in engineering, disaster management, and human behavior under extreme conditions. Scholars and students alike delve into its history to learn valuable lessons and to honor the memory of those who perished. As we reflect on the Titanic's place in history, we are reminded of the importance of vigilance, humility, and compassion. The ship's story is not just about a maritime disaster, it is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring quest for knowledge and understanding. Thank you for joining us in reflecting on the legacy of the Titanic. May we continue to learn from its story and carry its lessons into the future. Stay curious, and until next time.